Gil D'Oliveira, Pro Staff for Amundsen Outdoors. Today I'm going to talk to you about a pro tip on your weights for the fishermen that do drift fishing in our rivers. There's many favorable weights that each angler will favor, from the split shot, the egg sinkers, the bell sinkers, pencil lead, which is what I'm doing here, and so forth. I favor the pencil lead, and there's many reasons why, and I'll explain it to you. First, you can easily adjust it. You can uncoil it to the depth and the flow of the river of what you need. When you uncoil it, it's hollow. So there's a very slight core in there, so you can actually, if you're going to run it this way, run the line through. Okay. Now, when you use your pliers, you got to be careful, because if you squeeze too hard, you will plug in the access point. So what you have to do is just rotate and lightly score the lead, okay, and then wiggle it back and forth, and there you go. Okay, and then determine on the flow rate and how long you want the spinners. You do the same thing. Rotate and just score, slightly score, and then wiggle it off. I now have a section of lead that is fully accessible through the opening. And a lot of people will put a bead, if this is the hook here, and that protects the knot. The bead will protect the knot from it to slide. Okay. Now I also favor one more step, placing it in parachute cord. Okay. So this is a tough line. They call it slinky casing, but it's really parachute casing. When you buy parachute cord, of course, you'll get the core. So we just want the casing itself. And eventually what happens is we slide the lead in, what we want. Okay. We melt both ends, and we attach the swivel, the snap swivel. So now what we get is a weight that will tap along the bottom. Okay. The parachute cord is very slick, does not grab on rocks, and you will find that you lose very little lead. Next development that through my testing is making the same way, but putting a snap swivel on both ends. So when you have your main line, okay, so the main line will be here, and then your leader will be on this end, okay, and with your float will be cruising down the river, okay, near the bottom. This one here, though, is because you can do a longer drift. When you're holding back, the lead will stay straight, and you can do a short drift or river bobber dogging, they call it, in the higher part of the column of water. Okay. The issue is when you do it with this one, because it can slide, it also can spin. And what happens is, if the lead is not perfectly straight and there's a bend in it, it'll have a tendency to spin on your drift. And that is detrimental on your catch rate in your presentation. So I will show you how to make it. So I've pre-cut a piece of lead. It doesn't matter about the hollow core, because we're encasing it in the parachute cord. So what we'll do is take that, whatever length you did, or require for the river conditions, and you'll slowly worm it through all the way through to the parachute cord. You'll then take lighter and just lightly melt the ends, okay, and then pliers and give it a good squeeze. That gives you a nice seal. And then take your scissors. You want maybe half an inch. Sharp scissors so it doesn't fray so much. Take your lighter. Again, just score the edge. Take your pliers. Give it a good squeeze. And done. You have now a piece of lead, pencil lead, that is encased in parachute cord casing, and you'll have less structural snagging in the river. Now you'll take your snap swivel, spread it out a little bit, and then make sure you're in the center of the casing because you don't want it to be spinning. So there you go. It's centered. So if you want it as a slip weight, no problem. But if you want it to be more of an inline sink, then bingo. Main line, whatever length leader you have, and the flow. Good luck, and I hope this has helped you.